Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button for more content like this. What would you do if you stumbled upon a long-lost sister you never knew you had? This is the exact question Disney asked itself when it considered making a live-action spin-off about Snow White's sister, Rose Red. Disney's Snow White is the latest in a long line of live-action adaptations. But before it was even in development, the studio was working on a spin-off about Rosalind's space and um, the Rose. The original Brothers Grimm fairy tale, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, makes no mention of a sister, but the story of Rose Red, which is an interesting one. The plot of Rose Red was supposed to revolve around the second half of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, where Snow White eats the poisoned apple and falls into a deep sleep. Rose Red, along with the dwarves, would have gone on a mission to save her sister. But this is far from the plot of the Grimm brothers' Snow White and Rose Red, which follows young sisters who befriend a bear who ultimately ends up being a prince. And just 7 months after putting Rose Red into development, Disney decided to also pursue a live action adaptation of Snow White. And the project quickly recruited a number of big names, including Mark Platt as lead producer, but then went somewhat silent. 3 years later, it was announced that Mark Webb would direct the film. And then casting didn't truly begin until 2021, when Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot were confirmed to be playing Snow White and the Evil Queen, respectively. From 2016 to 2021, Disney was working on both Snow White and Rose Red. Since Snow White's development began in 2016, many may be wondering why the movie took nearly a decade to make that in. Aside from the fact that they were also working on Rose Red, Disney was likely also caught up with other projects. In 2016 alone, Disney put out Zootopia, the Jungle Book live-action remake, Alice Through the Looking Glass, Finding Dory, and Moana. Disney officially canceled the Rose Red movie in 2021. It isn't entirely clear why Disney decided not to move forward with Rose Red, but a good guess would be creative struggles. With Snow White already being so iconic, it may have been difficult to figure out a story that would honor the original Disney princess while also shining a spotlight on Rose Red Princess. In hindsight, Rose Red's cancellation can be seen as both a good and bad thing. On one hand, it is disappointing that this new story lost its footing and that audiences won't be able to see this forgotten character come to life anytime soon. And then again, canceling Rose Red has allowed Disney to pursue other projects that might be of more interest at the moment. That being said, it would be awesome if Rose Red came to fruition after the release of Disney's Snow White. If Snow White ends up doing well, at least at the box office, then Disney will have plenty of reason to continue with the franchise. In fact, the same situation occurred after 2019's live-action Lion King, which resulted in 2024's Mufasa, The Lion King. Ultimately, Rose Red should eventually be made because it has an interesting concept that could go in countless directions. while Disney could continue with its idea of having Rose Red be part of Snow White's journey with the Evil Queen, the movie could also hark back to the humans region of original fairy tale or do something else entirely. But either way, Rose Red is a good opportunity for Disney to mix old with new. Hopefully, Disney's Snow White can prove that Rose Red needs to happen. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time,